Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. If you're not seeing it there, that's where it should be. Also, put the decks and dice below if you're looking for that information. If you would like a direct reading, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? I wouldn't say anything's really bad, but at the same time, the situation I feel maybe a little labored with or a little unsure about what's going to happen next. There might be like, I don't know where this is going type of feeling going on. And even though you don't know where it's going, I feel like you do know where you want it to go. It's kind of like having that job and kind of like, I know I have aspirations, like I want to have that position. That's where I want to go. And it's kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to get the support to do it. I don't know if this company is going to support me in getting there, or if I'm going to have to find other options. Something like that. Also reminds me of like dating somebody that you want to propose or something like that. Kind of like, I know what I want, I just don't know if they agree. Could be something like those. I feel like one of the harder parts of this whole situation is it has moved forward quickly before. I don't know if I like that though. Okay. Things have moved forward quickly for you before, but you might have been more in control at the time, and you didn't really have to explain or consider or do whatever. Things have gone more your way when you've kind of pushed them forward and you had more control. The current situation, I don't seem to have the control that I used to have. But at the same time, when I'm looking at my own past, I'm like, yeah, but I don't want what I had before. That clearly, like, I don't have that anymore for a reason. Whatever was here in the past, I don't have that anymore for a reason, and I'm not looking to do that again. I'm looking to do something different, something more enjoyable, something more to my pleasure. But I would like to move it forward at the same time. There's a challenge with this, because I'm looking at my own history is what I'm getting, and I'm like, that's not what I want. I keep getting like somebody letting me move forward, and then realizing that it's just me that's moving it forward. So it could be in a job situation where I got a lot done and then I kept moving forward, but then I realized it wasn't that they wanted me, it was just that I was doing my job and their buddy's job. And once I realized that I was doing that, I didn't want to do that anymore. They're like, well, if you want to keep going like this, you have to do that, or else we're going to get rid of you. Or vice versa. I almost cringe at this a little bit. Maybe you had relationships in the past. Could have been romantic, don't have to be. And you moved things forward and you said what you wanted and you kept moving it forward. And then at some point you realized everything that was created in this connection, you created. And the other person just was going along with things. You had the real feelings, you had the real intent. They had none of that. And it's kind of like, I don't want, especially if it's a romance thing, I don't want to get somebody to go move forward and just enjoy the benefits of being with me if they don't really love me. There's no point to that. So, it's something like that where I feel like I'm looking at my own history and I'm like, no, because when I try to do it, I technically on paper get what I want, but emotionally I'm not fulfilled. Emotionally, this doesn't work. Emotionally, I feel like I'm lacking. So whatever's going on with this situation, I'm trying to make friends with it. See, that's the thing about this reading. It feels and looks really good, but it's not what I'm used to, is what I keep getting. Whatever this is, it's just not what you're used to. And you're making a conscious decision, like, I'm going to do this differently because what happened before, I'm not doing that again. That did not work out the way I wanted to, and it clearly, even though I can get what I want on paper, it doesn't matter if it doesn't feel what I want it to feel like. If it doesn't feel right, it's like, I don't care if it looks good on paper. Who cares? That's nothing. I can make things happen all day, all night. But if it doesn't feel like I want it to feel, it's worthless. And I'm making friends with this situation, whatever it is. Could be a romance thing, a friend thing, a business thing, a work, whatever you got going on. I'm trying to make friends with it, and I'm trying to make sure that my value is not only honored, but like people want to give value back to me too. I don't want this to be where I just do everything and people just enjoy that I do everything. Forget it. I have no interest in that. I'll do my fair share, no problem with that, but I want other people to be willing to give to me too. I will give, and I want this balance to be there. I want the good energy to be there. I want somebody to match my intent. And it's making me really nervous because I feel like that's one of the reasons, another reason I'm seeing the devil card here is kind of like, I don't know if I can get it the way I want it. I feel like going at this pace and doing things differently is new territory. Does that say new territory? Unknown territory, new territory? Same thing. This is like a different way of doing things. And I don't feel as confident because like, if I just want to do it and I do it, then there it is. Okay, it's good. I know I can do that. I can make physical things happen. I can't make people feel things if they don't really feel things. And I don't want people to pretend that they feel things just because they think that's what I want. I don't want people appeasing me. I don't want people just telling me what they think I want to hear. I don't want it. I want the truth. And it's hard. I feel like this is difficult. But the thing is, there's a lot of healing and you're doing really well with this. If this is hitting, you are doing really, really well with this. And you got success coming in here. It feels really uncomfortable the way it's happening, but I get mostly because it's foreign. The way this happens, the way this is going this time around, feels very foreign. And it's very like, I don't know that this is how this is supposed to work. I don't know that this is feeling correct because this is new to me. But you got success here. You got a lot of healing, a lot of growth. You're doing really, really well with it. You are moving forward, and the situation is cleansing itself. Part of this might be you're seeing people for who they really are. And it might be bleeding off into other places of your life, because when you're correcting this part of your life, whatever this subject is, it's probably bleeding out into other pieces like family, friends, whatever you might have going on, because the way you're handling things is changing, and you want to see what people really feel. You don't want them just to appease you. There's no good in that. There's no point. You don't want them to tell you what they think you want to hear. You want the truth. What do they actually feel? Just don't tell me what you think. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell me what you actually think. And that's what you want. And I feel like it's coming around in a few different areas. And it's not just upgrading in one spot. It's in a whole bunch of them. And that might be another reason why this is uncomfortable, because you might be evolving into a whole new area of life. You might be going through a literal shift, a personal shift into a different connection with people. Some people might be able to uphold that. Other people's may not. People. Other people might want to join you on this journey. What does that mean? You are inspiring people. I don't know if you mean to, but you are. As you're changing and shifting, it's not just about who can uphold to this and who can't. Some people might be like, you know what? You're right, Leo. And I want that in my life too. And I want that to show up in my life too. I want people to tell me the truth. I don't want people just to tell me what they think I want to hear. I feel like you're going to be inspiring people. I don't know that you're trying to, but like people might try to do things the way you're doing things because they're like, that's smart. That's what I want too. Leo's doing it that way. I'm going to try it that way too. So this isn't a bad thing. This is a kind of like, you're right. And they're like, you're right, and I want to do that way too. I want those good benefits. I want things to make sense. I want people to honor me for who I actually am because I'm a good person, because they genuinely like me. And other people are following kind of suit with that. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just kind of feel like I don't know if I like it. It might make you a little uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but they're throwing that in there. That's not a bad thing, but it may make you uncomfortable because it's kind of like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how you expect me to show you what to do. I feel like that's going on. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why are you following me? I'm just trying to make it work. They're just, don't worry about themselves. I wouldn't feel bad about it if you could help it. It's more of a compliment than anything else. As things keep progressing forward, they could back slip. They don't have to. I didn't say that right. They could go backwards a little bit. They don't have to. Be careful, because there's going to be a moment of excitement comes up where everything looks great. Oh, they do like what I'm doing. Oh, they do like me for me. This is great. Wonderful. Yeah, awesome. I feel like there's a moment where I'm going to have this temptation to do things the way I used to do them. Even if you slip for a couple days, that's fine. Once you're aware of it, it's just about when you're aware of it, slow it down again and go back to the way, kind of like, no, I don't want to do that again. That didn't take me where I wanted to go. It's my natural energy, but this isn't working in this subject for me, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit. And I'm going to do this differently again. So, like, don't beat yourself up if you end up going back to doing old behaviors or old patterns. All right, so, you're human, and that happens. Once you catch it, don't go, oh, well, I guess this is how I'm doing it now. Instead of doing that, going, wait, I'm doing that again. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So let me reset this situation and put it back to the building it correctly, building it with truth, building it with people who actually value me for me, not what I can do for them. There might be a couple times in this situation that you want to go off on your own and you want to kind of dismiss yourself and do something different. Doesn't mean you have to be sitting in a corner just going blah, 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 blah. That doesn't mean that. But like whatever the situation is, taking your presence away and putting your energy into something else you like. I don't know. Do you like video games? Do you like shopping? Do you like traveling? Whatever it is this subject is, taking your energy and just putting it somewhere else so that you can't be right around it all the time. It might be more difficult if it's a work situation. It depends what it is. So like I'm thinking of a Leo I used to know that like they were always, it wasn't like just a job for them, it was like a way of life. They would do things after work with people on the weekends. They'd sometimes meet people for breakfast. And it's kind of like, if that's the type of person you are, that's a great thing. But it's kind of like every now and then just kind of like do something different outside of work. Like just keep work at work. And then when you leave work, just for a couple weeks, just make it when you leave work, you don't deal with work things until you walk back in that door. And maybe you'll keep some friendships going, but you're just like very kind of like, not engaging that much until you're back in the door. Hopefully I made sense with that. It's not that your energy, when it says solitude, it doesn't mean that your energy has to do nothing. It just means like taking your energy away from this subject so that you're like not connected with this for a while. That's another version of solitude in my opinion. At least that's what I'm getting from that card. This situation has the ability to grow. And grow in a way that you know who people are and how they really feel about you. I feel like it is a danger for Leo, and if I'm wrong, let me know, but you're very active. You're very advantageous for other people. You get things done. You bring in opportunities. You're very good at communication, in my opinion, and when I say that, it's because you let things fly. You just say what you say, because I've had Leos argue with me about this, kind of like they don't think they're good communicators. They just can't seem to help themselves. They just keep going and they talk and they talk and they talk. But a lot of good comes from that, in my opinion. So I feel like you're good communicators because you get things moving. You keep things churning. Things that wouldn't be known are now known because you showed up and you gave the information out. And you also keep adding the information in. When somebody tells you something, you keep going back and forth. I feel like it's a good thing. I guess it depends on the subject and what you're dealing with. But this is going to keep moving forward. And the more you progress with this situation, it's going to get easier as time goes on. Because I feel like it's not that you're not moving forward. It's just that you're moving forward in different ways. You're editing and you're honing in how you're willing to move forward. And you're making sure that other energies match and honor yours. And they're giving back to you. It's not like you're just sitting there doing nothing. but it's kind of like, for example, if you have somebody you very much like, maybe it's a dating thing, instead of bending over backwards and doing everything you can think of to make them happy, you're kind of holding back. You're doing some stuff for them, and then you're waiting to see what they give in return. And while you're waiting to see, you're hanging out with friends, you're hanging out with family, maybe you're doing some work stuff. You're still active. You're just not active in that direction. You're doing some stuff there, then pulling back, and then waiting to see, does it come back my way? Do things come back my way? Do I get something in return? Are they missing me? Do they want to do things for me too? Because if it's just a one-way street where you're constantly doing for somebody else, that's an imbalance. That's not going to work. And the longer you do this, I feel like the easier it's going to be for you. I really, really do. This outcome I like. It's about having boundaries, but feeling very fortified and very comfortable with these boundaries. Having the Ace of Cups, being very happy with your new boundaries. And then a whole new world opening up for you. It's very interesting to me because Leo moving forward to me has never been like a challenge. It's not about a challenge for moving forward. It's like where you end up and how the trip is. It's kind of like if you're the one, if it's a bicycle built for three, just for argument's sake, and you're doing all the work, you're the one pedaling and steering and doing all that, it feels a lot different when you're doing all the work versus when you have two other people behind you that are also pedaling, and once in a while maybe you let them drive, maybe you let them steer once in a while, and there's something, you're watching this or you're taking pictures of that while they're steering, if that's possible. Or maybe you're videoing something or you're talking to somebody while they're doing that. Like, it's giving you different options, a whole new world to look into where you're still active, but maybe in a way that you weren't thinking was a real possibility before. And you're like, until you kind of switched it up a little bit and kind of put other people in these roles so that they do their fair share, you didn't see the other possibilities you could be having. I think we're there. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope this helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.